In this video, I'm going to go into the first steps of creating a video. And when you log in, you can go right into creating a video, or if you've already started one, you can go into My Videos. And you can also get there by the menu up here as well, My Videos. And this is the video we started with, just playing around just to show you the system. Now, every time you save one, you can create these basically as video templates, or what I call video definitions, because this isn't a rendered video, this is a video, all the forms related to that video. Anytime you publish a video, they will show up in the tab over here. Okay, so now we can go back into this one, or you can start from scratch, but let's go ahead and hit edit, or you can click the link and it'll bring up the video that we started with. Alright, so let's see, let's start with the watermark section. So the watermark section could be, again, you can create your own watermark here, and this could be, again, it needs to be a 360 or 640 by 360 image, and it should be a transparent PNG. And if you do that, you can pretty much put anything you want over top here, keeping in mind you want to keep everything else visible, because whatever you know, things won't be visible underneath. But in this case, let's use just some text, and I'm just going to type demo, and we're going to pretend that we're going to create a proof here. Now you might see this filled in with a blank. It says blank there, and that's kind of the default setting for this, so you can just ignore that and or change it. But you can, again, just use text as the kind of the simple way to do it. And then you might want to decrease the transparency, because we just want a very light watermark over there, and we'll see how that turns out. We'll go with Arial. We'll keep it kind of big, and we'll keep it the color white, and we'll put it right in the middle of the screen, I guess. So, all right. So now let's go into the background. We could choose to put a background here, and I'll go ahead and grab a file. Okay, so I got the URL. I'm just going to paste it in here. This will become my background, and you'll see what that looks like in a moment. But this is a just a flash file, and you can grab these for very cheap if you go to a website called activeden.com. And let me just show you that real quick. Or .net, I'm sorry. Yeah, so here's activeden.net, and if you go into Flash and Animations, you'll find a section for animated backgrounds, and then there are quite a few here, but let's just try this one. If we click here, you'll see it's $4 to use, and the license allows you to use commercially, for personal, for clients, etc. So something like this might work, but you can just dig around here and see what you can find. And then what I do is I save these in my Dropbox, a public Dropbox folder. Let me show you that real quick. Alright, so here's the Dropbox folder, and I've dropped one of these files in here just for demonstration. I'm going to delete it, but in my public folder, it's public, but it's not really accessible unless you know the exact URL. But if you put something in your Dropbox folder and you right click on it and go to Dropbox and get copy public link. So you copy that, and we'll go back into here, and that is what we had put in the URL right here. Alright, so that will become our background. Now for the audio. I'm going to show you another great resource for audio, and let me just go here. If you go to this website, incompetech.com, /music/royalty-free. This guy has a ton um, of music here that you can use totally for free. The only thing he asks is that you give him credit. So that can be easily done. If you're putting this on YouTube, just put it in the description box. And that's a great way to use, and he's got information here about how to give him credit and stuff like that. But you can, there's so many things here you can go in here and pick. You can search by feel and whatever. So like relaxed might be a good one for maybe a home tour or something like that. So you go through here and you can play a sample, find something you like, and then you download that file. So I'm just going to grab this one real quick. It's going to save that. I'm going to need to copy it into my Dropbox folder. So I'm going to pause it here for a sec. Okay, so I got my Dropbox public URL here, and I've got a track selected, and I've got that entered, and this is going to be the background, so I'm going to bring this down a bit on the volume. Now for the speech, I'm not going to use the speech or the text-to-speech for the whole video here under General. I'm going to set that up under the slides themselves. Okay, so now I can start going into a slide. I set up my first slide, and let's just do a quick hello. Alright, so we can run a preview here. If I just click preview, we'll see what this slide looks like. Now you can see several elements here. You got the background, and it might look a little funny to you because the recording is only a certain number of frames per second, but it looks different on the final product on YouTube or with the MP4 download. So you see my hello text, but you also see the demo text right there in the middle. So I might do something. Let's move my text to the right, to the bottom, and see what that looks like. Click this preview. And you can see my hello's down at the bottom right. If you want to give it a little room below that, you can just add a line, and you'll see that changes it quite a bit. So it gives it a little more padding from the bottom if that's what you want. You can change the size. Let's go a little smaller. Notice that our button is orange here, so it hasn't been saved. Alright, so that is that, and now let's go into our next slide. Let's just, in fact, I can change the name of the slide. Let's call it intro. And let's go into the next slide, and let's grab a picture. And I'm just going to grab something from the random. Alright, so I've got the URL of a random house I found on Facebook and a public on a public folder here, and let's go ahead and preview this and just see what this slide looks like without any text. Okay, so depending on the size of the image, it may scroll vertically or horizontally depending on what's the dimensions. So now let's do some things. Let me show you some of the other settings here. We can say the scale is something you can play with. Now proportional outside means it's going to fill the entire screen, so it's going to bleed over the edges, and that's why it's scrolling. Proportional inside will show the entire picture, but it's going to leave some borders open there, so you can see that it shows the whole picture, but it's got something showing through in the background. You can stretch it to fit exactly, so you still see the entire picture, but it's going to be stretched a bit, so it might look distorted. Okay, so that's what that one looks like. And then you can also go with width only, which will change the width but not the height, and then height only. which will scrunch it down, shorten it. Okay, so those are those effects. Usually proportional outside works the best. Now there is an option for an effect, like if this background blur here. What it does is it will create kind of a blurred background behind the image using the image itself. So we have a couple things going on. We have the image as a background that slightly has been blurred and is transparent somewhat, and so you can actually see the background swift or the flash behind that as well. And so that creates a unique effect there, which you can also play with some of these settings. Here you could change the transparency of this image if you want for some reason. If you just want to make this a text slide, you could just drop that down to 20%. We'll be able to see through a lot of this. And then you'd be able to put some text over this. That'd be easier to see. You can also blur the image. So let's bring the transparency up back to 100%, and we can blur it from a little to a lot. Let's pick the middle and preview. And you can see that's blurred a bit now. So you can also use that and let's turn off the background effect. See what this looks like. Okay, so you might want to, maybe you don't want it, since it's blurred, you want that more static. You would use maybe the stretch effect and just kind of fill the screen with it. And then that's it for the text settings, or the image. Let's go into the text. We could say 5 bedroom home in quiet neighborhood. Alright, so that's going to be my caption, and let's set that, and let's put that at the bottom right. I'm going to add a line here, and let's do a quick preview. Okay, and I kind of like sometimes to add a new line. Oops. I said quiet neighborhood. I need to say quiet. Okay. And let's try that again. Okay, so you can see what this is starting to look like. Let's take off the blur because we probably actually want to see, or yeah, where to go? Oh, I need to be on the image tab. So what I like to do is make my changes and then preview it and see what it looks like. Alright, so now we've got that slide, and let's do one more new slide, and let's make this be our ending slide. And then all we're going to do here is we're going to add text. Call Joe Johnson today. And we'll keep that in the middle, make it bigger, and middle of the page. Let's preview that. Okay, so you can see what's happening here. Let's now, one thing I should have showed you is, I forgot, is the audio, the speech. So let me just grab this here, and I'll use this for the text-to-speech. Alright. I'll go with the female voice, keep the volume up. I'll add a couple seconds to beginning and ending. Actually, maybe one. Now, if you preview it, you will actually hear, you might not hear it on this demo here, my recording.
5-bedroom home in quiet
Okay, so
neighborhood.
I just played that. I don't think it picked it up on my screen capture here, but you can actually preview what the text-to-speech is saying. All right, so let's go with this as a quick demo, and let's go ahead and save it. And again, you can change the title up here, and then save it, or you can save as new. And then let's go into publish, and the quickest way just to download it would be to hit publish here, just to download. But let's go ahead and take a look at YouTube. I'm going to use this login. I'm going to give it video test 1, and then whatever description, tags, and pick your category. You can choose a latitude and longitude. If you click this link, you'll get to a place where you can get the latitude and longitude for any address. Let me just pick a zip code, and then it's giving me a latitude and longitude, so I can just copy and paste this. So you can enter an address, a zip code, a city, and be as specific as you want, but you get the latitude and longitude, copy and paste it into here. And then I'm going to leave this unlisted, and I'm going to go ahead and publish. And then it'll take me to the queue, and it's showing me that I have my video is in the queue. It usually takes, depending on the length, it'll take just a few minutes for it to complete. And while it's doing that, you could actually go back, make changes, whatever you want to do. Every time you go to publish or you hit the publish button, it's going to save the current video settings, so keep that in mind. And I'm going to pause it here, and we'll wait and see how long this takes. By the way, one thing I should have mentioned is it's always good to preview the video, the entire thing, before you go to publish it. And that way you can see what it's going to look like before you use one of your video credits.
5-bedroom home in quiet neighborhood.
Okay, so let me do that again.
Five-bedroom home in quiet neighborhood.
Alright, so you noticed I didn't play my my first slide. I was wondering why that was. It's because somehow I deleted, or it wasn't in there. I didn't have a duration, so that would have been a good thing to note before I published it. So I add some time in there and hit preview. Now let's see what happens. Oh, there's my hello down there.
5-bedroom
okay,
home
so
in
that
quiet
looks good. I'm going to
neighborhood.
just hit stop, and it'll clear that out. Now if we go back to our queue, it's probably done. There it is. So it took a minute, right at 1 minute, a little less than a minute to complete. It's a pretty short video, but so what we have here are two links. We have the link to the MP4 version. Let's go ahead and look at the YouTube version. Okay, so I actually ended up re-rendering this to include the first slide. So it's on YouTube, and here's the demo, and of course the hello, and then I'll go into the next slide.
5-bedroom home in quiet neighborhood.
And then the final slide. Okay, short 15-second video. Now, so that I have two in my queue here that I was using. Also, if we go back into my videos, we will see we still have the one, because we still have the one video definition, but we should have two published videos. And there they are. So this shows the times we created those. All right, so that took a few minutes, but in another video, I'm going to show you how to speed this process up a lot by creating batch slides and some other tricks you can do to speed these things up. So then, of course, once you have this defined, it might take a little work to set this up the first time. If this is for a client, for a realtor, something like that, realtor, or whoever it is, you can republish these things very quickly and easily. You can, if you had multiple sites here, you can move these around, just publish it again. It'll save all your settings. You can tweak the title, change the keywords, that type of thing, and then publish it again in about a minute. So again, this is something you can do very quickly once you've got these things set up. But in another video, in the next one, I'll show you how to do a batch import of slides.